I am known in the lands of our nation as Hajistahawe. In Canada, the corporation, the English name is known as Sino General. Also, I have a music name that I go by Chief Rock. I do a lot of music and mixing of our traditional music with hip-hop music, and the other thing I do is I teach the legal side and lawful side of law. There's a lot of lack of understanding and lack of, information that people should know, some founding information that people should truly know, just as well as not to breathe in when you're underwater, not to jump out of a plane without a parachute. There's certain basic common things that people should just know. A lot of us don't know because we've been taught not to look that way, not to learn what rights really are, what kind of society that we actually live in. That's all around us at this moment is corporations. Corporations like Enbridge and all those pipelines, and even Canada itself is a corporation. When they first came to our lands, there was no corporations, just the people, and we welcomed the people who came off the ship and with open arms to come and share what we have here, as we do today. But corporations and people who run them, the 1% that we always talk about, those are the ones that we need to understand the game that these people are playing with the people that are here on the land. And most people don't even realize that being called a citizen of Canada is being called an employee of Canada. It's the same thing. You're an employee of Canada, and that's why when you turn 65 or you get to that ripe age, they give you a pension, because they're paying their employees a pension for working for the corporation. So we need to know these things, and when we go into the courtrooms, we're going into a racist corporation that only hands down judgments on behalf of the corporation. So it's hard to fight a corporation that's only going to rule in the favor of the corporation. So our people need to rise up and start putting together our own people's court. We need to rise up our own sheriffs, our own police, our own people that will protect our lands. Not these people who work for a paycheck printed by the corporation like Canadian Tire Money. Well, we have all the power to do what we want to do. We don't need to listen to these people. Who are they? And where did they get their authority over anybody? They have no authority over our lands. They have no authority over our bodies, over how we think, over our free speech, or anything that we want to say or do on these lands. They have no authority. And we need to learn what our true rights are. Because everything in this corporation and this world that we live in is a contract. We're living in a contractual world. Everything's a contract. You go into a buffet, you scoop out some food, you're agreeing to pay the price. Right on. And the same thing, these corporations want to come on the land as the people. We need to tell them what the price is for trying to come on the land. We can set a price, we can tell them how much it is to come on these lands. We don't need to stand around and trying to beg the government to stop them. We can stop them. We are the power. The people are the power. Don't forget it. We are the people. We are the power. The government is not the power. The government is nothing more than a piece of paper. We need to keep that in mind. The government is nothing more than paper. It's some written documentation. People don't even know what a constitution is. A constitution is written by a constitutor, and a constitution really is a debt passed on to a third party. So our people need to understand all these legal things that we're trying to claim to. We want our constitutional rights. So you want rights to a debt that they're passing on to you? So we got to understand these things. We got to understand what a citizen is. We got to understand what paying tax is. We never had to pay tax. I'm sure people from other nations and other worlds that come here and watch us are laughing like, why you guys got to pay to live on your own planet? No wonder they want to come and talk to us. They think we're crazy. A little bit of education, a little bit of awareness will really get you to stand back and see the perspective of what's really going on these lands, these buildings, these corporations, these people that think they can tell you what to do. They can hire some guys with guns and tasers to come and put you in line and shoot you to death if you don't listen to what they got to say by their rules. We are the authority, not them. You live by our rules. They're on our lands. You know, and like I said, our people here are here to share our resources, our land, and our love with everybody. I'm very happy to see our allies here today, people who are here to join with us to try and stop these poisonous tar sands that are destroying a land base that people are getting cancer and dying, and no one seems to care. They just keep on walking by as long as they get their Starbucks, as long as they get their TV and their high definition TV. They don't care. As long as, you know, let someone else get cancer, and I won't care until it affects someone in my family. You know. So when they come knocking on your door to drag you off into a camp, like they did to the Japanese people, then we'll start caring, right? Is that when you start caring, when they hire all these corporate guys with guns to round everybody up and throw you into a camp? Because you don't want pipelines, because you don't want all these poisonous black goo running through our lands? We got to be very mindful of the things that we hold true and keep mindful of the things that we hold dear to us. You know, a dead planet we can't do nothing with. A planet that gives you cancer, and no wonder they're off on other planets looking for somewhere else to live, because once they're finish destroying this planet, they're taking off all those 1% people that are building spaceships and space stations and putting people on Mars. You better pay attention to what's really going on out in this world. Even our officers over there that are watching us as we walk, they're going to leave all your families behind on this dead planet as well. So you guys got to be standing up and standing alongside our people who are stopping these people from destroying this planet. We need this planet to keep 7 or 8, 9 generations from now to be full of clean water, clean air, and clean animals. So I'd like to thank everybody for having me come on up and speak. I've only given a little bit of what's really going on, but there's a whole workshop that I do on teaching people what law is, because law is nothing more than a contract. They can't impose law upon people if you don't consent to the law, if you don't agree to the law. All right? Now what you want to do, if people want to get together, create your own identification that shows that you're from whatever nation that you want to be part of. You know, we don't need to be Canadians, because only Canadian law applies to Canadians. They can't go over to Japan and impose Canadian law. They can't come on our lands and impose Canadian law. This is not Canadian land. It's never been sold. That's why they call it unceded territory. So again, I'd like to say thank you. In our language, we say Nyawagoa. I appreciate the time that you guys had here today to march through the streets and bring some perspective to everybody of what's really going on. And I'd like to end it off with a song that we sing back home. Thank you.